Hello everyone, Nim Game here. Yesterday, I made a little poll asking which character you guys wanted me to cover the most. And surprisingly, there was absolutely no surprise at all. Lily Lovebraids basically won by a landslide in every single poll. I don't know if it's because I accidentally made a few videos commenting on this character's appearance before or not. I swear I have no personal grudge against this short-legged doll at all. In fact, I would love her very much if this video turned into another piece of content with more than 1,000 views. Anyway, today we won't talk about the beauty story of this monster anymore. Instead, let's take a look at what actually happened to Lily the Red in Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. And our video begins right after this. Lily Lovebraids was introduced to us very early. From images all the way back in October. After the Halloween details gradually revealed the characters in this chapter. And even when the game was almost released, many people still believed that she would be the biggest sub-boss of this chapter. Especially after the scene where Poppy was captured by the purple-haired creature in the Welcome Home channel. Well, that also makes sense, because this fake Roomy doll did not run away like the final boss 1007. The story of Poppy in the Welcome Home channel is also the journey we had to go through before meeting this big boss. When we reached the area called Squid Street, an experimental zone that is quite similar to Playcare in Chapter 3. We also had to pass a very intense test involving that green weasel, Huggy Wuggy. After sneaking past Huggy Wuggy and installing all 3 batteries to open the giant purple door, we entered an area called Squid Street. Here, we soon saw an electric tram moving through different sections. Even after more than 10 years, the electricity here still seems pretty solid. Because inside this place there is also one crazy electric creature that is even more charged than the power system itself. We thought that after reaching the end of the path by breaking through the purple gates, we would have our first real interaction with Lily Lovebraids. It started with an extremely eerie laugh. From the very first encounter, she showed a strangely excited attitude when she saw us. At this moment, she could be called one of the most harmless-looking characters so far. She even has the most human-like body proportions. The other childlike one is Poppy. But even Poppy still has that chibi-style head. Lily immediately began talking to someone. Not to the yellow-skinned guy holding the blue and red hands, but to Kenny Kenneth, the decapitated toy she was holding in her hand. It was as if that toy was saying it didn't think we came here for the party. But Lily brushed that aside right away and asked, if we weren't here for the party, then why did we come down here? We can notice that Candy Cat is just a lifeless toy. Meanwhile, Lily's mouth changes tone to pretend she is speaking as 2 different characters. This is not some artistic ventriloquism performance with a clown puppet. This is a sign of an extremely serious split personality. A purple-haired little lolly who loves playing with toys. That is not a good omen at all. And exactly as I just spat out of my mouth, Lily began looking at our yellow-skinned player like a juicy piece of meat. She untangled her hair, revealing hair that could move on its own. Many videos say Lily invited us to a tea party in her area. But just look at what kind of invitation involves her hair grabbing and sticking to the player like that. That should be called kidnapping. The player didn't even have time to react or change clothes before being dragged straight into prison. No, actually, he was brought to the place she called a party. More precisely, she was the one calling it that. Because the player himself never says anything anyway. And so we were transported into a very childish purple mansion. At least we were still allowed to move around freely and still had our grab pack inside the mansion. See, the moment we entered, she started playing 2 roles again when Candy Cat said we smelled awful. Maybe she knew I had made several videos about how ugly she looked. So she deliberately wrote a script like that. But if I received a little donation, or if you guys liked and subscribed, I would smell incredibly good. This Lily even plays the role of a gentle big sister, turning that insult into a side conversation between the 2 of them. Lily objects and says that Candy should speak more gently and politely. After all, we had to crawl through so much filth to get here. As she speaks, she also says that bathing would not help anyway because we still smell like blood and all kinds of things. After that one-person conversation ends, Lily immediately changes the topic back to the party and asks us to bring the crumpets from the oven in the basement. She says it like a request, but it is no different from an order. Could you be a good toy and bring the crumpets from the basement oven up for me? She looks harmless, but after being mentally pressured and captured so quickly, the player has no choice but to obediently run down to the basement like a little puppy to get the pastries. Actually, maybe this purple doll does not realize that we are a different kind of creature. After going down to the basement, our yellow-skinned brother realizes that his decision was absolutely correct, because we find both Kissy and Poppy locked inside a prison room. That is the same prison room that appeared in the trailer gameplay. There is even a scene where Kissy Missy pulls us, reminding us of Chapter 4, when she also pulled us away from danger related to the prototype. The two surviving major bosses finally got captured in a similar way and were even locked in a cell. Poppy is surprised to see us and starts apologizing for everything, from abandoning us to manipulating us, then asks if we have any way to break them out. Of course, when the deal looks good, they talk big and act bossy. When the deal turns rotten, suddenly it's all brotherhood and apologies. That is probably why our yellow-skinned brother gets a little sulky and runs off to get the cake for Lily first. Luckily, when she receives the pastries, she says something like, "Did you talk to anyone? The food is ready, but we still have to do another task, which is to gather guests for the party. And the guests here are just 3 toys that are not alive at all. More precisely, they are toys scattered around this area." After bringing each guest back to the host, Lily says lines like "sit down," "good toys must wash their hands," and so on. In general, these are extremely messy conversation fragments. But overall, Lily keeps forcing this party to happen. Once all the fake guests are seated at the table, Lily turns around and pulls us into the kitchen to prepare the final part. When we enter the kitchen, she complains that the kitchen is terribly messy. But honestly, I believe it is still cleaner than my bedroom. And just like your little sister, even though we did absolutely nothing, we still have to clean things up for her. While she tidies the kitchen, Lily tells us to bring the recipe book upstairs and place it beside the bookshelf near the attic. But seriously, living alone without eating or drinking and still acting like she is going to cook. However, when we reach that area, we discover a secret room behind the wall, right behind the bookshelf where the recipe book is placed. We immediately see the poster that Lily had whispered about to Candy when we were looking for guests. Moving further in, we press a button that opens Lily's bed and discover a mysterious skeleton. A skeleton that has been carefully looked after. Around it are Poppy flowers. Toys like Boxy Boo, Poppy, Bobby Bearhug, Kickin' Chicken, Huggy Wuggy, and especially a Playtime Co. ID card. I will talk about this part later. For now, our yellow-skinned guy still has to keep searching, because this place is also where the key to open the door for Poppy and Kissy Missy is hidden. It is a golden key shaped like a heart. To get it, we must use the pressure hand to unlock the glass cabinet. But the moment we break the glass, it creates noise, and Lily notices that something in her room has been disturbed. We run away through a gap in the door, and that gap opens into a space that looks like an upper factory hallway. Not long after, Lily enters and investigates where the noise came from. She immediately comforts the skeleton on the bed, telling it that everything is fine and it should go back to sleep. In an extremely eerie voice, Lily tells Candy Cat that someone entered her room, and that someone is about to be put into the box as well. Lily leaves, and it seems she has begun hunting the player. Although she is a bit crazy, this girl is actually quite clever. But what matters more is that the player's mission now is to return to the basement where Poppy and Kissy are and use the golden key to rescue them. However, this purple-haired lunatic has left behind a very strong braid blocking the lock, making it impossible to use the key directly. So we have to search a side room, find a high opening to slip through, crawl through the ventilation shaft, and use fire to destroy the braid blocking the way. This slows us down a lot and gives Lily enough time to return to the basement. She says someone must be coming here to open the door and thinks that there are still guests missing from the table. She approaches the prison cell. Fortunately, at this moment, the player is hiding inside the ventilation area, allowing us to see Lily checking the room again. Lily insists that they cannot leave before the party begins, then goes back upstairs to prepare for the tea party. Right then, the player takes the chance to crawl out of the vent, burn the braid, and free Poppy and Kissy. We thought that now we had 3 allies and could finally escape. But the moment we ran up the stairs, all hope was extinguished. The entire area fell into endless darkness together with Lily the Red. At this point, we could only use the globy ultraviolet light to find our way. Passing through the living room felt strange because we had to follow traces of hair inside the enemy's own den. But what else could we do? Everything around us was pitch black. Following the hair and opening the main area, we once again heard Lily laughing. But the moment we stepped in, Lily's hair grabbed us. In the darkness, Lily revealed another personality. A third personality. She spoke in the third person and called herself Tiny Lily. So this is a monster with a very strong possibility of dissociative identity. Because she does not have only one personality, but as many as 3. This is different from Doe, where the 3 personalities are actually 3 completely separate individuals. Here, they all belong to the same unified monster, but with completely different minds. One Tiny Lily can glow in the dark. One exists inside the soul of a cheerful young girl. And one is the embodiment of nasty anger inside Candy. Tiny Lily asks whether her dear guests feel bored. She suggests playing a game. The rule is that upstairs there is a children's room. When Lily sings, you are allowed to move. But when Lily stops, you must stand completely still. This is basically a horror version of red light, green light. We have to follow the rules exactly, because otherwise this monster will tear us apart. But halfway through, Lily starts humming and suddenly doubles her speed. That is cheating so hard it hurts. Still, by following the hair trails, we use the pressure hand to break the glass and move up to the roof. At that moment, we hear Poppy urging us to hurry because they must find a way out. Just as we reach the attic area and meet Poppy again, Lily immediately realizes what we have done and says that the party has not even started yet. And right when we think we are safe, Lily grabs us again. The Lily Lovebraids personality still insists that we must not miss the tea party. The escape plan fails completely. The uprising sinks into a sea of tea party madness. We are the 3 guests. Poppy, Kissy Missy, and our player must sit around the table. This video will not go too deeply into this scene because we already watched it quite a while ago. But first, Lily does perform some threatening actions toward these toys. Poppy, for example, is tightly trapped by Lily's hair. During the scene where Proto starts speaking, Lily also does not sit still. She keeps fidgeting and refuses to keep her hands properly in place. In the chaos, Kissy manages to run up the stairs. Lily breaks the door and chases after her. Luckily, she only chases us, so Poppy and Kissy have a chance to escape. After a chase sequence inside the mansion, we finally lure Lily outside. At this point, this is exactly the player's specialty. Lure the enemy to a place and finish them off. Near the end, when Lily climbs onto a cloud using her hair and starts rambling about all the things we missed, the player takes advantage of the pressure hand to break one of the cables supporting the cloud platform. Lily is shocked and cannot react in time, let alone change clothes. She tries to climb back up but falls down. Not only that, the platform then snaps the final cable and crashes down onto Lily, completely ending her. To be honest, I had planned to jump down and save her, but when I respawned, I had to let her die one more time to continue playing the game. Rest in peace, Lily. Anyway, our player is called the Butcher. So let's just add one more achievement to the record. And that is the story that all of us experienced in Poppy Playtime 5. But why did Lily Lovebraids behave like that? Who is she originally? What connection does she have to the story of Playtime Company? To make this clear, we need to find the VHS tapes and several related documents scattered around this area. We can see that Lily's true identity is extremely complicated psychologically. She is Gracie Green, also known as Miss Gracie. Gracie Green was a counselor in the development sports department at Playtime Co. But that was only a cover organization, because her real job was to create brainwashing videos for new experiments, making them forget their past and accept their new identities as toys. This is the character who appeared in earlier videos when they were clicked open. This character was voiced and performed by Nicole Tamkin, a rather pretty voice actress. But in the role of Gracie, she plays an employee who is beautiful, yes, but also cruel toward the toys. She directly participated in training and brainwashing Huggy and possibly many other experiments too. She was willing to order Huggy to throw innocent toys into the back toy boxes. In reality, Those were grinding machines. After spending many years doing this to dozens of toys, karma finally came knocking. That karma was the hour of joy. But the event where she turned into a toy seems to have happened by coincidence. There was a chain of experiments directly related to specimen 1468. In a note we pick up, it says that on June 0, 1995, the procedure for experiment 1468 underwent a major change. Instead of each hair strand being a finger bone grafted onto the body like a wig layer, the scientists used horsehair, strong and flexible, along with artificial bones and multiple layers of biological material to create a protocol that could grow hair strands and showed very good responses. That means the subject's consciousness could naturally extend into the structure of the hair. This sounds very scientific, but in simple terms, Lily Lovebraids' mind can control her hair like a skeleton. Like limbs, it is a biological reconstruction ability that twists the nervous system into a kind of weapon. And 2 days later came the hour of joy. At that time, Gracie locked herself inside a recording room amid the chaos, while the smiling critters and nightmare critters pounded on the door, demanding that Gracie come out and help spread the joy. Here, we can pick up a VHS tape and see that other bigger bodies are trying to find her. She contacts someone outside through the radio. This man is named T and he keeps telling her to stay quiet and wait for the rescue team. But after communication is lost, the toys break through the door and rush in. One last time, but the monsters refuse, and Chop answers with a grin that they will not kill her. They have a special plan for her. Gracie is dragged away amid a horrifying scream. And as we already know, Gracie was taken for experimentation, under the direct supervision of the prototype, from a human who specialized in brainwashing monsters. Gracie Green was now turned into experiment 1468, meaning Lily Lovebraids. Honestly, I am not sure whether this was a punishment or a special privilege from 1006 for this lady. Because either way, 1468 is insanely strong. Even the prototype had to personally monitor Lily's condition and record it like a true scientist. The evidence is that while exploring the Purple Mansion, we can find a document written by the prototype about Lily's condition. Although there is no specific date, the content says that Lily had been continuously isolated for 410 days and was only given the bare minimum needed to survive. She had become childlike and completely unaware of her own crimes. The prototype moved her elsewhere because he needed more space for research. But one thing remained unchanged. Lily would never be allowed to join the other monster groups. Yet she would also not be allowed to peacefully die. This was probably an extremely heavy form of mental torture, causing her mind to split into as many as 3 parts. That detail explains all of Lily's behavior inside this house. She is not like a scheming boss. She is genuinely deranged and extremely mentally divided. She truly believes there is a party, and she simply waits and talks to Candy like the toy is alive. She forces everyone to stay before the party begins. This house works like a self-soothing mechanism. She even prepares cakes, fake guests, and a children's playroom. Her obsession with the party has to happen, almost like a person trying to recreate a version of normal human life. But Gracie's mind has already drifted far away from the present. In addition, we also find notes like he still has not come. Why does everyone hate me? Fear prototype. And mother should cover the hole in the wall with a poster. If you are lucky and diligent enough to collect tapes, you can also see a VHS tape titled Take 96. Isolation Day 122. Showing that she is becoming increasingly detached from her old identity. Talking to Miss Gracie as if she were another person. Then panicking when she realizes she is a toy. With plastic hands, a plastic face, and a conflict of consciousness. In the end, we can understand that the skeleton on the bed is actually the body of Miss Gracie. Based on the Playtime Co. ID, but we still have one question. Why does Lily Lovebraids still keep the body of her old human self right there in her room? I will leave that question for you guys to answer. Because right now I honestly have not figured it out yet. And that is the entire story of Lily Lovebraids. One of the most interesting characters in this chapter. Is Lily beautiful? Is Lily cute? That will be one of the topics I discuss in a future video. For now, if you have already stayed until this point, then what are you waiting for? Please leave me a like and subscribe so I have more motivation to make new content for you guys. And now, Thank you everyone for watching and listening to Nim Game.